So, welcome to our breathing space mindfulness practice for today, the 1st of December. And as we move into the festive season, um, it's nice to think about the theme of transition and change. Often a time of the year when we think about what's been going on in the year and taking stock of things. So, a nice theme perhaps to practice around. And we'll put this in around a meditation on the breath and the body. So let's begin by getting ourselves grounded. And for this, you can choose a posture that is comfortable for you, whether you prefer to be sitting or lying down. Maybe beginning the practice just by asking yourself the question, what posture would serve me well today? Yeah, taking a few moments to turn your attention inward, connect with body, connect with breathing, connect with heartbeat. Connect with a sense of the energy within you. And as you begin to feel that coming into awareness, making any adjustments that feel right for you. Maybe choosing to lie down or find a chair or a cushion or a mat. Get yourself comfy. Checking that the body's posture feels upright, relaxed, present, supported. Maybe becoming more aware of the breathing in the body. And aware of all those places where the body meets the surface that is holding and supporting you. As we feel those places of contact, knowing we can let go of having to do anything, let go of the world of planning, decision making, responsibility. Put that to one side. And come into this space of mindful awareness where we can just rest in awareness, in the flow of experience. As we notice the movement of breathing in the body today, just being curious, where is that movement of breathing most alive in your body today? Maybe in the nose with the air entering nostrils or mouth. Maybe in the movement of chest and ribs, expansion, contraction. Maybe in the belly, rise and fall. As we rest with this movement of the breathing, we feel that transition from everything that's going on in the doing world into this space where we have nothing to do except follow the breathing. As Thich Nhat Hanh would say, we notice the breathing coming in. We notice the breathing going out. And we're simply present with that sensation of movement from moment to moment. In this mindful space, we slow everything down, like slowing a film, frame by frame, moment by moment. Whatever's in our mind right now, worry about the past or things that might happen in the future, For now, can we just find what's present here in this breath? Like a little bubble of awareness, little space of clarity and simplicity following the in breath and the out breath. As we sit here, of course, we are human. The mind is always looking for something to do. It always wanders off into a thinking, a worrying, planning, a memory. Whatever's kind of on our mind becomes very obvious. So well done for noticing that transition from awareness of breathing to awareness of thinking. And with kindness, with gentle kindness, just encourage our attention to let go of that thinking for now and to notice the transition back to the sensations of the next in breath, air coming in, the next out breath, air going out. As we sit with this in breath and out breath, things that are present in our emotions might become present. Maybe things that have been in the background suddenly come into the spotlight. So the invitation is, can we allow those to flow, to feel them, to sit with them, maybe even recognize how they are felt in different parts of the body, maybe a temperature, maybe in the gut or the throat, maybe somewhere else. And certainly just to acknowledge those, this is part of our experience right now. But even then, once we acknowledge that shift, that change from following the breath to noticing an emotion, and we just say, okay, yeah, there's that emotion. Can I now bring my attention back to my breathing? Just practicing this, noticing what's alive, letting it go, and coming back to the next in breath and the next out breath. The longer the spaces between my words, the more the opportunity is for your thinking to drift in or your emotions to rise. And for you to notice that we're always in transition. Nothing ever stays the same for very long. Even our attention is always going one way or another. This thought or that thought, this feeling, that feeling. So our practice, we're not looking to achieve a particular state of being. We're not looking to achieve, 20 breaths of attention or 30 breaths of attention, or to stay with the breath for 10 minutes or half an hour. we simply use the breath as an anchor, a base to come back to, a place we can come home to and start over when we notice that this mind, this human experience is always in transition. So just to notice the transition from breath to thought, from thought to emotion, from emotion to physical sensation, and then to come back to breath again. That is life, awareness, and the practice. That is being with the experience that we are living and holding it in awareness with kindness and compassion. Thich Nhat Hanh in his practice says, breathing in, I know I am present. Breathing out, I know I am here. But he also says, when the mind wanders, not if, but when, just be aware of that shift into thinking. That awareness is our superpower, because then we can choose if we want to let go of that thinking, to come back to home, to base, to breath, and just start all over again. As we sit, there's no requirement that we are motionless. Sometimes we sit with the breath and we notice the way we're sitting, there's a tension in a muscle or maybe a change in the temperature of the body, or our posture is beginning to create some tightness or stiffness. If we notice, we'll notice that shift in the tension from the body in the background as we follow the breath to the body asking for attention. That shift of awareness from breath to body. Maybe even the shift of awareness to a particular part of the body, like a spotlight moving to a certain location. We can be curious what's here and what's calling my attention. Maybe make an adjustment to your posture. How can I bring some kindness to what I find? And how can I respond with wisdom and with care? Maybe a cushion, maybe a change of posture. When we're ready, we can let that go again and bring the attention back to the next in breath and the next out breath. Begin all over again. When you move, you can notice that even the physical sensations change from moment to moment. A slight change in posture might bring new sensations, some that rise and some that fade. We might even notice how they rise, how they fade, how one might follow from another, or how there might be a gap between. Ever changing transition and transformation, even on a cellular level. As we breathe, we can feel this body that is breathing. We feel the body being breathed. And we allow that to flow through our awareness in the background as we focus on breath coming in, breath going out. And in our practice, we might find, often we do find, that we have a like or a dislike to our experience. Things have an emotional charge or a meaning that comes maybe from our hopes, our fears, a sense of being happy or unhappy, of being at ease or in some form of discomfort, of being relaxed or agitated. These are all normal and natural states to be in. We often move between them on a regular basis, but whatever you're finding right now, if you're like, oh, this is the way I'm feeling right now, can we also be aware of that judgment that might come? This is not the way I want things to be, or I really like the way things are right now. I wish things would change. I wish things would stay this way forever. Because any of those are reaction to what we experience. Can we notice that transition to the transition to how we relate to our experience, wanting more, wanting less, wanting this, wanting that, striving or resisting? Notice that transition too. When we do, can we invite some just curious awareness, some compassion and kindness? There's nothing wrong. In fact, everything human about these reactions we have. Today's practice is not to get rid of or to change those reactions, just to notice the transition into that type of thinking. Notice how it feels and how it comes alive, and then let it go. Let it continue if it wants, but we bring our attention back to an in breath, an out breath, and a new beginning in a new moment. In our breathing, there's that in and then that little pause as the in breath is complete. A point where we can't breathe in anymore. It needs to change. The in breath is followed by the out breath, the letting go. And when the out breath is complete, we can't breathe out anymore. It has to change and become the next in breath. constant flow of change. Tides come in, tides go out. The seasons of the year change, the weather changes, night and day, time. So just as we could be aware of the breathing changing from in-breath to out-breath and how that feels in the body in this present moment, we can be aware of the changes that are happening in our lives. Any change in the world, the universe, we can observe it in the same way. Just the flow of life, in breath and out breath. Notice what it brings alive in us. An emotion, a thought, a sensation in the body. And hold this with kindness, with compassion. Celebrate how human we are in our thinking, in our feelings, in our reactions. Hold this with awareness, but also with a kindness, and just ask, if anything, how can I bring some kindness to myself as I live this experience? How can I bring some compassion to this experience? How can I bring some care and caring into this moment? Or even just imagine compassion and kindness and breathe that in on the in breath, and imagine a letting go of what you need to let go of on the out breath. As we come close to the end of our practice, remember we've always got this breath as a home base whenever we're just wanting a quiet moment in our day. When we realize that, there's a lot alive in us from life. Our practice is not about changing that or fixing that. It's more just giving us a base in the breathing from which we are anchored. And then we can be aware of how this change is living in us, in our thoughts, in our feelings, in our body. in our reactions, and we can just hold space to be with the flow of experience from a mindful and compassionate and caring place, some softness and kindness, a place where we can be in contact with our humanity, our common humanity, and just take a little breathing space to get grounded and centered in the way that we relate to what is alive in our experience. One breath at a time. So I invite you, if you want, to just begin maybe wiggling your toes, your fingers. It's a nice way to notice the transition as we come to the end of our practice. Noticing the way the movement comes alive in our fingers and toes, how it might change the energy in your body. You might notice you want to stretch or move in some way. Again, feel that as a change in experience, coming alive of movement or muscle, joints. When you're ready, we can open our eyes, and there's another change as we take in the room around us, the people on the screen. And I'm going to end the recording there. If you're watching on a video, you might want to do some journaling around your experience of the meditation. And for those of us here in the Zoom, going to be an opportunity for us to maybe just share a little bit about our experience in today's practice.